With an area of 241,038 square kilometers, 18% of Uganda's land mass is covered by large bodies of water, including fresh water, which are home to a variety of fish species. Uganda and East Africa's fishing industry plays a vital role in ensuring food security and contributing to economic export growth. There are 1.2 million people involved in the capture of fish, 5,000 individuals engaged in industrial processing of fish, 5.5 million livelihoods of people involved in this sector, 12% contribution to the agriculture sector, 3% national GDP of Uganda.
Over 75% of the fish produced in Uganda is consumed within the country, which contributes a lot to the food security in this country. In 2022, for an example, Lake Victoria contributed 1% of the world fisheries, which is an enormous amount in terms of tonnage, looking into a single lake and comparing it to the oceans, which contribute as well.
Nevertheless, illegal, undocumented and unregulated fishing practices, including previous use of unsafe and substandard boats, has been a concern.
These challenges led the government of Uganda, the government of the Federal Republic of Germany, the Lake Victoria Fisheries organization to come together and create or kind of put into being the Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project. The project is funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, so that in 2016 this program started to address the aforementioned challenges.
The Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project contributing to food security, more fish available in Uganda and East Africa, more jobs and incomes to people in fisheries sector. Some of the achievements emerging out of the Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project include increased stakeholder engagement, government or non-governmental actors, provided business development training to 2,800 SMEs, reduction of illegalities on the lake, increase of mature and right-sized fish stocks, registered and licensed over 30,000 boats, created a fisheries marketing tool known as Abavubi app. In collaboration, the Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project and the Federation of Fisheries Organization of Uganda developed and adopted the Abavubi app.
Okay, please. The order is as usual. 500 big, 200 small. Eh? How about medium? Okay. But deposit the money as soon as possible. Okay, please.
The Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project has trained over 2,800 small and medium enterprises, of which 50% are women on Lake Victoria and Choga.
We target groups under the categories such as the boat owners, the fish traders, the fish byproduct processors, and the processors, who are mostly made up of women, because there's a challenge that came up where they did not see their businesses quite as something that they can sustainably do, but more of income generating activities. So the BDS training comes on board to not only do a mindset change, but also to ensure that these businesses can be done in a profitable manner and to improve the overall performance of the fisheries value chain through these businesses. We also have quite a number of interventions like the seafood map, where we are partnering with an international organization, GIZ, to help to register the fisheries producers in Uganda for them to be able to trade outside of Uganda on that map. So under the BDS training, there are quite a number of avant-garde components that we train. Most interestingly is the fish processing and handling. Here we work with experts. We bring on board other partners, experts in the fish value chain, who train them on how to handle their fish.
While others are trained in FAO's voluntary guidelines for artisanal fisheries. This includes energy-efficient smokehouses installed at Katosi, Bugula, Bulebi, Mumunza and Bugoye landing sites on Lake Victoria, and among others, to ensure fish product quality.
olwo n'ateekako ebyennyanja bye kiro 10, omulala n'ateekako kiro 10, omulala n'ateekako 5, omulala n'ateekako 4. Mweno kava yonna ekalirira kiro 4. Enengege ennungi nnyo, kava eno yegikalirira. Tweyanziza nnyo GIZ, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire dda bannange, tubasiima, tuwasanyuka nnyo, naddala abakyala n'abaami banne mwatukolamu obulungi obutagambika. Tuli bulungi, abaana basomye omwaka guno.
The target activities and achievements have included organization and implementation of training and advisory services on business development services with special consideration of women.
GIZ yali tennaba kujja, twafunanga okukola nga tetumanyi bizinesi bw'erina kutambula, naye kati bwe yajja yatuyingiza mu musomo ne tuyigiriza embalirira y'ebizinesi n'enkekkereza, ne tugattako n'ennyingiza gye tuba tuyingiza, naye luli twakolanga nga ne tuyina mbalirira yonna gye tusobola kukola ki kuteekateeka. Twalabanga abatembeeyi nga ffe tuvudde mu katale tugula buguzi bintu ng'ebyo, naye kati ssente ziyita mu mitendera.
The Responsible Fisheries Business Chains project targets artisanal fishers, processors and traders, as well as small and medium-sized enterprises in the fisheries sector.
Through training, we are taught that we should change our minds of drying mukene. So we are given 8 drying tanks. So I want to take this opportunity to thank GIZ for that. Not only that, we benefited a lot. The sealing machine, the fishing nets, there were 9 so far, which changed our standards of living at home. The income, we are now earning a lot than before.
But when we realized to form the association where we could share some issues and challenges, we managed to save money and then use that money in a group. We didn't use that money individually. So when we use that money in a group, we managed to get 10 boats and nets, fishing nets.
The field of action, More Fish, More Income, aims at establishing the prerequisites for value addition to fish of sustainable and resource-conserving Nile perch fishery and more.
We are training them, one, on hygiene to ensure that the fish products that we have are of good quality and can access the market. And then we train them on fish handling. How do you handle the fish to ensure that you maintain the quality and the freshness of the fish? And then we train them on the different fish processing techniques and methods, like fish smoking, fish drying, fish sausages, fish burgers and fish nuggets. Any different type of product that you can think of, we are trying it out here with these people, and it is very impressive.
The project supported the Uganda National Women in Fisheries consultative workshop to develop the constitution and action plan that facilitates the establishment of the network for women processors and traders in Uganda.
And this is a fish innovation center that has been supported by GIZ, because GIZ gave us some work to train women and in 15 districts in Uganda, and courtesy of that we were able to make some savings, and we have managed to have a home of our own. So this center is going to train people. If you want to start a fish business, this is a place to go. You come, you train, you learn, we equip you with the skills, and in 1 week you can be a fish business owner, because a fish innovation center is you come with nothing, you live with a business. And I think to me that is something that I really treasure from this partnership that we have had in GIZ. And the price has become better. Now we are profitable, I can say, unlike before when we did not have good equipment, we did not have good packaging machines, but now things are better. Now we are really doing well. We have had many youth who have come to train, to learn, to skill, because many youth today don't have jobs. So we are calling more youth, if they have passion to join the fish sector, to come to our center and learn on how to process fish and trade fish. Yes, and we look forward to more women.
The status of co-management structures, gaps and challenges, and best options for effective implementing the revised co-management guidelines in Uganda have also been established. The collaborations and linkages with institutions and partners have been maintained and new ones acquired.
First, like the co-management guidelines, so that the stakeholders are all involved. Let the fishermen be involved, the fish traders be involved, the policing agents be involved, and the technical arms from the central government, then plus any civil society organization to be involved in this.
NAKIMO is Lake Choga Integrated Management Organization. It was set up by districts that actually touch the lake, and the major aim was to see how sustainably the lake resources could be utilized. GIZ has cleared 85% of our challenges. They have trained our people. They have even cleaned the whole of this Lake Choga. You can't believe. Choga is big. I'm taking of 17 districts. People, a team came that was collecting all garbage, all these plastics, along the whole lake. What happened in Nakasongola, happened in Serere, happened in Balisa, and today, I didn't know that people learn by seeing.
Before the GIZ project, we did not have a forum that brings all of us as the stakeholders in the fisheries sector in the country to work together to mainly plan, to exchange knowledge, to share ideas, to really guide good management and development of the fisheries sector in the country.
As the name says, multi-stakeholder, the different stakeholders, and so in improving the sector's performance, effectiveness, we as UFCA we have gained a lot in the last 3 years from the efforts of GIZ for people to generate those ideas, to generate information and so forth. So as an advocate organization, I know in the next 2 to 3 years we shall influence a lot of policies with what we have already got, the information we have got now, we have gathered. So we are going to package this information and be able to come up with advocacy strategies and campaigns and so forth.
As the project goes away, it had been supporting a number of key activities which routinely give us data like hydroacoustics, and I think when the project is closing, we started selling it to partner states. The partner states should be able to take it up and be able to develop that so that it continuously go in that direction and does not stop. Number 3 has been a meeting of decision makers, the meetings of senior officials, the directors responsible for fisheries management and fisheries research from the 3 partner states. These have been always brought together under the meeting of these, but the partner states have only been supporting them for the meeting of the sectoral council. But now they need also to take it on and be able to support these meetings of technical evaluations, because they tend to evaluate now the outcomes of the science so that they can inform management decision.
We have what we're calling the electronic catch assessment survey. It's very easy. You have the software installed on a mobile phone. These days people understand these mobile solutions. Everyone is on a mobile phone, on a smartphone. And we are making such inroads after the project has ended, where you don't have the resources to actually conduct these surveys. Then you have the enumerator at a landing site who is collecting data on a daily and transmitting this data to a central server. And then the manager who can also visualize what is happening.
GIZ Responsible Fisheries Business Chains Project, together with the Directorate of Fisheries Resources, National Fisheries Resources Research Institute, district local government and the local fish community, identified, characterized, validated and mapped 87 potential fish breeding areas in nursery grounds or maternity wards for fish on Lake Victoria 43 and Choga 44.
The fish breeding areas, we know these areas where they are, and we have mapped them. So we look forward to now having statutory instruments that can eventually have them gazetted and protected.
Batuwa amagezi ebifo ebyo kirungi nnyo okubikuuma nga abantu babisaalingiramu okusobola okukuuma ennyanja yaffe n'okuba nga etuweereza, era okuva olwo twafunawo enkyukakyuka. Ebyennyanja tubifuna mu budde bwe tuba tubyagalidde ate nga bikulu mu sayizi.
The Responsible Fisheries Business Change Project has also supported the Directorate of Fisheries Resources in moves aimed at curbing illegal fishing activities such as capture of immature fish and use of substandard fishing gears.
At this moment, I would like to thank GIZ. They have assisted the fisheries sector in a number of areas. The vessel identification plates, first of all, they helped us to procure those plates. Then they have helped us to register the boats. That one was on Lake Victoria, and also do the actual licensing for the last 3 years. So that was very commendable, and it has helped us to control the access of the fisheries on Lake Victoria. They are supporting us again on the development of the Lake Kyoga Management Fisheries plan. And what have they done so far? They have assisted us coming up with the data. They have supported the frame survey. Fisheries frame survey is something that you go to a learning site, you look at different the status of the learning sites, the services offered, and that one informs the planning of the fisheries and also comes up with the management of the fisheries at that level.
We have the boats which is on standard. We are using the nets which is on standard. We are paying license. We are licensing our boats, and we are advising our fishermen to wear life jackets, how they can handle fish after fishing. We have learned value addition on our fish.
The project also facilitated the review of the standard operating procedures, SOPs, for self-checks in fish factories, which were used for 444 inspections in 11 fish factories.
They have done over 1,000 self-control checks where they monitor the quality of the fish that is brought to the factories for processing. They also monitor the sizes of those fish. And this has been a regulatory tool to the sector in a way that the fishermen have to fish out the right size of the fish because they know their target customers are the factories. And also at the factory level, it helps them to process better fish, which opens up a wider market for them for international export.
Implementing partners like Victoria Fisheries Organization, Directorate of Fisheries Resources, MAIF, Uganda Fish Processors and Exporters Association, Federation of Fisheries Organization of Uganda, Association of Fishers and Lake Users of Uganda, Katosi Women Development Trust, Uganda National Women Fish Organization, Lake Kyoga Integrated Management Organization, National Fisheries Resources Research Institute, Sustainable Fisheries Initiative. GIZ has supported the organizations or partners' capacity strengthening.
Our effort of building their capacity to ensure that during implementation they don't deviate from those provisions. In terms of training and keeping them with knowledge and skills has helped the partners to acquire that knowledge that is required in requesting for funds from the rest of grants other than GIZ, and most of them have benefited from other international development partners using the information and the knowledge that they acquired during the implementation of our project.
The Responsible Fisheries Business Change Project, together with its partners, has made a significant contribution to food security. More fish available, income generation, regulated fisheries and good fisheries management.
The fisheries sector in Uganda and in East Africa has been revived a bit, you know. Actors talk to each other, things are happening, the population sees that fish is coming out, it's recognized that fisheries contribute to food security, the markets are full. The Nile perch, which at the beginning of this project was seen as it's exported. Now it's kind of a big part of the local market, of the local consumption. And these are things which all of us during the lifespan of this project have contributed. We are looking forward maybe to have another project which might not in this way now deal with capture fisheries, might be a little bit more looking into aquaculture. One is if you have a lot of fish from aquaculture, the pressure on capture fisheries reduces a bit. You know, because we cannot catch more fish. We have a certain amount we get from the stock we have, but we can increase aquaculture. In ponds, up north, around the lakes, I think there's a lot of potential, and I would think GIZ will continue in these areas to work.
There has been strengthening of government actors as well as the private sector and civil society organizations for sustainable resource use.
We have worked hand in hand. We have now our people around some of the sub-counties with the laptops and generators that support them in registration and licensing. So the aspect of licensing and the registration has been supported majorly by GIZ. GIZ has been able to support us with the law, with all the facilitation they gave us. We now have a new fisheries law 2023. We still want to appeal to them. Please, we need instruments. We need you to work with us for us to get these instruments. Then too, we still need you to support us on aquaculture, majorly. In the east and northern, we need support for fish farming for our youth, and then of course support for our artisan women, because women in fishing have supported their family a great deal, and some of them were basically supported by GIZ. From the time I came to this docket, I've had 3 big fisheries days, and GIZ has been in support of this. GIZ has been able to support us, sensitize the public about fishing, and good fishing and sustainable fishing, especially with our local fishermen who didn't know about fisheries bringing money to the country, bringing money to their pockets, helping them to pay the fees of their children, and also economically the country has been empowered. And we are second to coffee. So we want to appeal, please continue supporting us, and even when your time seems to be expiring, please, we need you to stay there and lobby for us.